Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Dominions 5. We are in turn 30 of the 1v1 against Tien. We are Man Bird Dog, God of Therodos, and it's early in the morning, early in the fall, and I just woke up. I did turn yesterday, so we will review it together and see what kind of mistakes I made. Research in construction is completed, and we will be rebuilding the Colossus of Therodos this turn. But without further ado, let's jump into the battles. He's attacking me in one spot, and then all of these guys here are my attacks. So we are definitely on the offensive at the moment, except for one little stack. There's this guy, this group here, that is moving up through my territories. He is still advancing in a straight line through my territories and approaching. I think we will see him. He's approaching my fort. One of my forts. Two of my forts. Well, three. Well, the third one is in the sea, so he can't get to that one. But I think he is hitting for the forts, and he won't be able to siege it down in one turn. It has 250 siege defense. And they don't have 250 siege power here, and there's also some units inside the fort, so it should hold at least one extra turn, maybe 2 turns. But we'll see. In Barmod, we are being attacked. No, sorry, we are poking. We're poking in Barmod the fort, just to see if he changed his PD, which I think he did not. No, it's still 22. Farseer Mountains. Oh yeah, this one is interesting. What's going on here? We started the battle against some independents and they are immediately running away. There are no leaders in this army. And that's quite interesting, I think. I think we would have won either way, I hope. But we win without a fight. Is any of them deceased? I was thinking maybe it had to do with a siege site. No, sorry, a disease site that may have killed a leader, but I don't think that that's it. Then the next thing that I'm thinking it could be is maybe, what's he called? Tien attacked in here and managed to rout the leader. I think it would have been with the dragon, routing the leader, and somehow they would have routed the dragon? Oh, that's also crazy. So maybe, I don't know, something is going on here. Not that I minded, we're just gonna push them out. The mystery of the missing leader. Just 37 wolf tribe archers, nothing else, and they run away. Huh. How about that? Midria. They were so scared, they didn't even want to fight. Midria, we're taking... Oh, no, here we have a grouping of enemies. This, I think, is the one that I said we couldn't... No, they stood their ground instead of moving away, this group. So we're pushing in against them. This is the raiding group that has been taking territories from us. Some chariots. We'll put it up to fast speed. It'll get interesting when the chariots arrive. So yeah, welcome to another episode of Keejchen Complains About the Trample Mechanic, also known as Dominions 5. That's how I was supposed to introduce this episode, but I forgot. They just wreck face. They are taking damage. But look at that. They just rout everything. Oh, Jesus. I mean, we kill some of them. But it is not going well. Then the next grouping comes in. Their archers are now joining the fight. And then... yeah. But we do rout some of the chariots. Then the PD sticks around. Yep. That was in Midria. So, let's see, 1, 3, 4 chariots managed to trampled 14 units, routing the army. We didn't take, I mean, we took some losses and we didn't take the territory, so it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Oh no, they didn't stand their ground. They moved south out of the Thing Woods, which is the next one, I think. This one would have been abandoned then, yep. And here we have a relatively decent sized army with a lot of archers, which can be worrisome for me. I'm sure we will take some friendly fire here. Oh, barely any though. Yeah. Okay. Thing Woods, we lost 2 units, and they were killed by the enemy. Did I skip the Mountains of Evernight? I did. Here, the enemy did stand their ground, and they boosted the PD. We have our combustion dude in here, but they're doing attack rear. So we've got 6 chariots coming in, attacking rear on my commander with the combustion staff. At least some of my units are, they said to attack large monsters, because I expected something like this might happen. So we are trying to surround them. Our commander is very bravely standing his ground against the chariot here. He's burned it, so at least it's taking damage from that. That's working out, at least. And it did die from that. Okay, so the combustion staff doing something. We're just chasing down those chariots, trying to rig them. Next one is lit on fire. Did we kill that one up there? We do. Oh, and we kill all of them. But the archers have taken their toll on us, I think. And then we do rout. And they sniped the commander. They've managed to land a good hit on our commander. He died. Luckily, though, or, well, as a small consolation prize, we killed the only commander that wasn't a PD commander, so the combustion staff will not be able to be looted by anyone in this case. It's just lost forever, and we didn't lose that much. We will be routing. We killed the raiders, so they can't keep raiding. That's sort of the primary goal here, so it's a fine trade, I think, all things considered. Then in the Promised Land, we were advancing with a stack as well, just a raiding force. He hasn't put a lot in here, but it's sort of an even fight. We'll run it at double speed. It's not an even fight. We have way more soldiers than they do, for sure, and ours are incorporeal. But they do have that one chariot commander. We've seen him rout a stack before. Can he do it? No, he got surrounded and brought down. Brought low. In Merovia, we are not being attacked. We are raiding against the PD that we scouted the turn before, expecting that we can beat them with this small group here. Look at that. One of the PD dudes has chosen to, as supposed to be, sometimes the AI will do attack rear on its own, and one of them managed to break through the formation and is now heading towards the commander. Oh no! And he doesn't have a guard or anything, but he's incorporeal. He can maybe fight off one heavy cavalry. So they will have a little duel in the back while we have a real engagement at the front. A real melee. And a chariot as well. They rout the skirmishers. Yeah, the peltasts have been routed. These two guys are just fighting tooth and nail. They're both hard to hit. Now we rout their infantry, so my infantry will be chasing down their commander and the cavalries that are heading to the back. Fun little battle. They still haven't hit each other up here. Chase them down, they're going for the commander. But then they break from, I think, army losses. Then the chariot tramples through my formation as they're trying to leave. But that's fine. And then we kill everything. So we do indeed win this one. Our commander managed to tank it out. That could have gone very wrong, but it worked out in the sinks. This is us attacking into his throne province. And this is our army with a massive stack of... Well, massive stack. The biggest army of sacreds we've had so far, with a decent sized front line. And he has boosted his PD in here. There's a PD priest. No, I think both priests are his own. Then there's this Appa the shaman, Adapa the shaman, and he's not a priest, but he's an astral mage and a nature mage. This is something that we can recruit in this kind of province, so we would very much like to have this territory. But we'll see how it goes. They do have the priests, and they have some archers. These guys are not the worst for fighting ghosts. They don't have protection and defense skill, but they are very killy on their own. They have 2 attacks that are giving them good chances of hitting incorporeals. And of course the priests will attempt to banish us as we come closer. They're blessing themselves, so our archers won't be able to hit them because of the air shield. And the army of lizard men is moving forward. We clash. They are killing a few of ours, actually quite a bit. Yep. That's going quite well for them. Then our sacreds are finally entering the fray. Yes, there's a ramshackle. It's so chaotic with this kind of bless I've made. But I think for Therodos in general, one of the big downsides is that it's hard to control your sacreds because they berserk and they don't really want to run in formation at all. So it ends up being this weird melee where my guys are just trickling in. They're super powerful, but they don't fight together. They just sort of run at the enemy in this crazy formation. I imagine that they're screaming their lungs out as they're charging. It's quite fun. And we do rout them here. We, like this blob of sacreds, anything that they meet them, they just obliterate them when they on contact. So in the sinks, we lose only basic infantry. No sacreds lost at all this time. So that's quite nice. The priest got 1 kill. The other priest, 2 priests up here, only get 1 kill. Archers, the lizard warriors did relatively well for themselves, but they were also 30. There was 37 of them. Yeah. And the final one in Urfell. We are attacking with our expansion army that has been chasing around. This was supposed to go onto the throne, but then I decided that there was no threat on the throne. So we just moved out and took another province. And that's it. So for unexpected events, we're dancing. We get a spectral unit. Another spectral dancer here. Raiders are harrying coastal settlements. That's unfortunate. In Morn, we get 6 death gems here, and in Rusia we are getting unrest. And that's it. So let's check Urfell, because this is interesting. This is the province that we took. We were in White Lake, and had I dilly-dallied a little bit and gone to the range of light instead, we would have met a dragon and probably the end of that army. It's hard to tell, but I think this army may not be able to beat a dragon. It's hard to tell. The other thing that could have happened is that the dragon was in here this turn, as I said, and maybe battled a commander, managed to kill it, but then routed itself, and then flew to the range of light as a result. But I can't imagine what kind of commander or whatever would have routed the dragon in here. That's just really unlikely. But otherwise, I don't know what mystery has happened in the Farsia Mountains. If not that, it's just oddly coincidental that the dragon is right next to it in the turn thereafter. So yeah, that is interesting. I think more like that it's a counter move to prevent my moving from White Lake to range of light. Good. Let's have a look around. We can start in Therodos. We have Heliacmon. It must be Heliacmon, who is now casting Rebuild Colossus. And in the image of Demonax, and that's King of Tilkinis. My pretender is Demonax, the King of Tilkinis. I just renamed him, but if you don't rename him, he will always be named Demonax. So we are in fact building a statue of Manbird Dog in this case. Want to build... it will count as 100 men defending a castle. It will also... in spectral former inhabitants of the great city will arrive in great numbers. And I haven't tested this out, but that sounds great. It's really expensive. We had about 14 earth gems this turn, so I have converted about 60 astral pearls this turn into earth gems. Absolutely worth it, I hope. I hope. We will see. We shall see. That's the big spell for the turn. Well, let's have a look at army movements. This is where the enemy has arrived, and they are sort of they came in through Rame, then they went to Alentova, Aiole, Dural Woods. He's just carving a straight line through. Like his objective, if anything, should be relatively clear from here. If he wants to go in the same straight line, there's two territories that sort of line the path. Forgotten Woods is not really worth anything, so the objective must be Doferos, right? And in Doferos we do have some PD. I'm patrolling with Admetos to give us an extra commander that will help the PD out, but I'm not going to otherwise patrol in here and take the stand. We're just going to let him move in and sit on top of the fort, hoping that the PD does some damage. That would be just fine, or just a-okay. But then next turn, we will hopefully break the siege. We'll see how much the fortification goes down. If once he's here, we got 33 siege defense in here. Probably more next turn. We are moving up from Therodos, Gargaros, and Periboia from up here, so that we have another Hecaterite in that defense. Otherwise, if not for defending the castle, then she will grab the troops and lead a new army from there on out. And in Emmerich, we are doing the other Hecaterite that we've just arrived. We have one building items for 2 turns, and then we have another one that just got recruited. She's gonna grab all the sacreds that can't move that far, bring them to Emmerich, and then she can also support in Doferos or move towards Neifel, where we are now building a lab and a palisades. So in about 4 turns, we will need a new dancer down here. Though Doferos, if siege will take priority, then we will have the Agor and 2 other Hecaterites in here defending. There won't be, I think, any Milias. Well, we have 1 Milia over here. There is side searching. She's on retreat. If the enemy does move in, she will just retreat to a nearby province. Otherwise, she's here and can move into Doferos as well next turn. In Jinport, we are patrolling because we have unrest in here, and then this guy will also be able to pick up new ghosts that arrive, also to support in Doferos. Next turn, in fact, now that I think about it, we should make sure that we have a spectral commander in Therodos next turn to grab whatever troops arrive here next turn and can move them to Doferos. And to make sure that that is a thing, I will find us a spectral commander somewhere that is not doing anything. That could be you. Or Komenos, yeah. So we are changing, so you go to Jinport, then Alphaeus, yeah, will not patrol. That doesn't matter that a whole lot, and you can make it to Therodos. So we have 1 in Jinport and 1 in Therodos next turn to pick up troops. Oh, then we don't have 1 in the faraway sea to pick up troops. Of course. Of course. And can we find another spectral commander somewhere in range? I'd say that's almost impossible not to, but we didn't have any. You can't make it to Therodos, unfortunately. What about you? No, not quite. Here? No. Dang it. Worst case scenario, we can grab an E4 to lead the troops. In fact, That's good enough. Alright, so we are undoing this. You will just wait here. You will do the patrol again. Patrol. We shouldn't see anyone come in here, but just in case, I will in fact go and say my information. This is more likely to be a dragon attack, if anything. Well, if it is, then it doesn't matter what we do. We will die. So let's not script for a dragon. We'll script for anything else. That's a patrol. This guy's just waiting down here. We already have a patroller. There's no unrest anyway. It doesn't matter. Alright, so that's sort of the preparations that we're doing here. Also in Nightfall, Manbird Dog can currently make it to the Pharaohs. I'm not sure if it's enemy control, maybe he won't be able to, but then he can drop the Black Steel Plate into the lab that will be here next turn, so boosting his movement penalty by 2. I'm hoping he can make it in there. We'll see. I would prefer him having the armor, but I think as a support for the army, that's sort of my reasoning for not defending it this turn. Next turn we will have Man-Bird Dog available to go in there. I mean, we could. Okay, you know what? We could have moved him and patrolled this turn in here and taken the fight with the PD. But then I would have to. The thing is, if we are under siege here next turn, I will use all of the Caballeros probably. At least, yeah, most of them, and we will have an extra Hekaterite that is moving out here, yeah, with some sacreds. Also from the faraway sea, we have the Murte here moving this army out into Dural Woods. It's gonna be my guess that this army will not wait around here in a province that has 5 income. He's not interested in this province itself, so we'll be moving in behind him. Also in that way, we are moving into the promised land and in Rame over here with this group, and whatever we had in here, I think, is moving into Rame, where we might encounter a dragon. It could happen, and that would be bad, probably. But we can maybe kill the dragon. In the Promised Land, we are moving everything we had in Thing Woods with some from Irigdal Core up into the Promised Land here, and controlling these two will cut off all of these provinces that he has up here for money, so he's at least not making any money off of all of this that he's conquered. And I say all of this, he's got 17 coming in here, 6 here, something here, and then 5 here. So it's not like he's making a wealth of money from that, but we're pushing in Rame at least. And we, instead of conquering all of this, that we don't care about a little bit of money, we will just make sure that he's not getting it either. Alright. Over here we're just moving in to pick up some units, and picking up units here from people that have fled. The one in Morovia that survived, they have 10 units remaining, and I'm holding down tab, no wounds. I don't think he's got a lot of PD in Devil's Pond, although it's a possibility. I'm willing to sacrifice 10 ghosty boys to check it. Notably, there is a large army here that can now consist mainly of demons of heavenly fires, and these guys are flying, so could end up flying and attacking somewhere again in the Promised Land, maybe even Rame. We'll see. He's definitely not out of tricks yet. He's got this stack that is gonna be costly to take out, and he's got this stack here and a dragon roaming around. It's up here right now. But we beat him in the sinks, and we have taken the throne of might away from him. We are not going to claim it for ourselves at the moment. Chris Lighthawk is away, and it's still in his dominion. So we're just going to bounce further on. But still taking it from him, taking this little witch's bark from him, taking the... He didn't have a lab and temple in here, so he couldn't have recruited shamans. But they would have been nice. I guess he's already got astral and nature mages, so he actually doesn't need them. I kind of would really like to have a fort in here to make astral and I guess nature mages would be fine too. But we're moving up to the holds against these Cynocephalian hunters and warriors. I'm sure there's a Cynocephalian shaman in here as well. I have looked them up in the mod inspector. They're not that scary. They're decent units, but against ghosts they won't be doing a whole lot. It'll be just a-okay, and we've got our army of sacreds moving forward. It's looking fine. Oh, yeah, Mayor's here is searching. Got the new scout having been built here. So something to note is that in order to build the lab and the palisades in here, I had to go and turn off recruitment everywhere, except for we changed the Hecatomite into a dactyl, but we're not recruiting anything else anywhere. So in order to make the money for these two buildings here. And the lab is very essential so that we can change around anything we need on Manbird Dog next turn. Or if he's gonna stay, he can research and start crafting items in here, which is also definitely something that we could consider. Though I would prefer that he stuck around to protect the palisades. If we need him into Therodos, he will leave and then come back after the fact. My balcony door is creaking, my bad. Alright, any other army movements? Let's see. No, we're poking in Parmat again, just to be a general nuisance. And I think with that we can talk about the item crafting. We have some equipment available, but we aren't moving out any Nelias this turn. And you know what? That's a lie. So maybe I should equip Nimerite, but I'm worried. Like, if he stays behind here, it would be an extra big loss if she had equipment on her. Maybe I just do a black steel helmet, giving her a higher chance of surviving. At least, since we have plenty of helmets. Yeah, let's give her that. But I don't want to give her all kinds of good equipment, like a Sword of Swiftness would suck if it fell into the hands of the enemy, same with Dancing Tridents. So this army would get wiped if he patrols in here this turn. So let's not throw away all of our equipment into that. It would be too much of a risk. Oh, and Nastes over here is just moving back into white-gray, from which I think he can also support in the Therodos. Could the dragon make it to the Therodos this turn? That is a tough decision. I'm gonna say maybe, probably not. But in 2 turns it could certainly be in there. I have 10 Dominion strength though, so I'm pretty sure that the dragon will not want to participate in battle here. But maybe he will do it in order to support his army, and it would just cast spells. It is possible. In research, I have switched around enchantment and invocation. Unfortunately, we won't get it this turn, so I had it next turn. But I suppose in the turn where we're moving him up into the Therodos next turn, the evocation will be done, so that he can then cast. It's just to make him able to cast a little bit better spells, attack spells, in the next fight that he participates in. Shadow Bolt will be one of them. Then, well, he can do everything on this list, so he could also do Healing Light. Doesn't affect undead. But Magma Bolt is a decent enough spell. Freezing Mists is interesting. Actually, would be pretty good for us. But it won't affect the warriors of the 5 elements at all. Acid Bolt is really good. Has an area of effect. Yeah, that's a decent enough spell. Ice Darts. Wood. Oh, it's not cold damage. So this one's quite good. The Bend. paralysis. I'm sure he will choose some good spells from here. Waters of Acheron will be able to be cast by... oh, that's only for caves, right. But our Hecatarites... And then our Hecatarites can cast Sleep Cloud. That would be amazing. Imagine hitting the warriors of the 5 elements with like 1 or 2 Sleep Clouds in a battle. Just you could, like, and it's a plus here, so she would do 1 X, so that would be, we've got at least 4, at least 3 on every Hecatarites, so it's 4. So you could do 12. If with a bit of luck, you would hit 12 warriors of the 5 ways in 1 cast and sleep all of them, and then they would just get cut down. That would be amazing. I would like that. Also not attacking for a turn. I think that's everything. We're searching here in Imicton. Running around searching with Melias at the moment. Because Man, Bird, Dog will not be able to side search the whole map. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, he has done good for us in this game. Not as much as I had hoped, but we have found some magic sites that have helped support our magic economy in general. But I don't think it's worth building the entire Pretender around it. So that's something to consider for future episodes or future series. But the Bless itself is quite good for all the secrets that we have. Not necessarily my specific Bless, but having a wide and big Bless for them is good. And it could probably have been built better. Alright. On that note, I will end the episode. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.